do the cold open.
Oh, God. Don't make me think
It's the last one. You have to do it.
It's the last one. I have to do a last cold open?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and you got to make it good. Otherwise, everyone's going to stop watching forever.
There once was a man from Kentucky.
Okay. Never mind. I don't want to do it anymore.
It got real stucky.
Okay.
He grabbed it with his hand.
They're leaving.
And it seemed kind of bland.
Everybody's leaving.
And they're making a movie
with Bucky. The view count's going
Bucky.
down.
They're making a movie with Bucky.
Okay.
It's called Thunderbolts.
Dude, stop talking about Thunderbolts. I'm tired of it.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Alex.
I'm Cory.
And this is Off the Clock. This is the last Off the Clock episode that we're doing.
It's the last one ever. And then you know what? I'll save that for later.
We disappear into the void forever.
Yeah, we're gone.
We join the ancestors. I don't know if y'all have seen Black Panther. Statistically, you have, because it's one of the highest grossing movies of all time. But
he's movie pilled again today. Welcome back to another movie episode, as if we didn't have like 10 of them.
We shouldn't have another movie episode. We have things to talk about this time, aside from the fact that it's our last ever episode, because I'm graduating and he's graduating this summer.
Yep.
Which is crazy. It's how you looking in terms of job prospects, Cory?
I mean, I'm on LinkedIn.
Felt that.
That's
Felt
it.
That? Yep.
No, I mean, I have a few potential things, but nothing like super crazy. I mean, you already got something lined up, so.
Lined up is a strong way of putting it.
They recruited you, like they reached out to you.
Yeah. So at ICC, which was the Intercontinental Ballistic, whatever, the collegiate conference that was all of the chapters of AMA. There were people from Inside Global there who did a little presentation, which was super nice. And apparently, I forgot that I sort of made an impression on one of the guys who was giving a speech.
Huh.
And I forgot that he worked for Inside Global. So I get an email when I come back to Tampa being like, hey, we heard good things about you. We checked your LinkedIn. You look cool. Like, do you want to interview with us? And I said, okay. And I did one interview over the phone. I thought I did pretty well. That was like a week and a half ago. So either they're not the quickest with the hiring process.
I think that's probably pretty likely.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just so spooky.
Yeah.
Job hunting nowadays is just so.
It's a nightmare. My mom was telling me about her friend who, pretty qualified, she had been through 7 rounds of interviewing.
Oh my God.
7 rounds of interviewing. She was like, I mean, I got it locked. We're chilling. 7 rounds of interviewing. Then just gets full no call, no show, no nothing, no email, ghosted.
Here's what I'm wondering about the 7-round interviews. What are you learning on interview?
It's just with other
5?
people.
Oh.
So it's they introduce you to more and more and more and more of potential senior staff.
I see. But do people not talk to each other, and do people not trust each other's opinions?
No, Alex, no. They all hate each other. They don't talk to each other. That's dumb. That's dumb, and you're dumb for thinking that.
My bad.
I'm kidding.
Office politics are just high school plus.
Yeah, it's just high school, but instead of Snapchat, they just use email and memos. So we've got that to look forward to.
Yeah. Dude, I was thinking about ideal career path, because I went to go see new movie Sinners with a friend of the pod, Rodell.
Yeah, he was telling me all about it last night.
And we're going to talk about that a little later. But we were talking about where we want to end up working, and I was like, dude, I would be the perfect middle manager. Oh yeah. You put me in the position where I have my little team of 10 people, and it's hey, I got a call from corporate. Corporate was like, listen, you can't wear jeans on Fridays, but you know what? I care about you guys.
I'm gonna fight for you guys.
I'm gonna fight for you guys
to wear jeans on Fridays.
Yeah. And we're gonna do the after work function where we all pull up. Everybody gets a free comp drink, and you guys are gonna show up because we're getting off early on Friday so that you guys can go. But even though it's time off, you should show up. Yeah,
you gotta go.
Yeah. But I don't know. Middle management seems interesting. I think it's a branch of I've considered getting into teaching, which is sort of the middle management of its own path.
Well, you're managing a bunch of little kids, bro.
Which is the same thing as the corporate world, really.
You know what? It's hard to argue that.
Yeah. But what we've talked about it before, but what are you thinking in terms of I
want a remote job. I want to be at home. I want to I'm a homebody. I want to make my house really cool. And I want to be at home, and I want to work at home, and I want to have a healthy work-life balance, and I want to spend time with my significant other, and I want to turn my phone off at 5 p.m. And that's it. I don't have big dreams.
The ideal dream is you got work phone, You got normal.
Oh my! I got 2 phones. one for the Slack and one for the hose. Yeah,
might cut that, but
whatever.
But I like the idea of being able to just like stick your phone in a drawer at the end of the day.
Yes, dude. Watching people respond to emails after hours, or like get on their work laptop after hours is just like the most sickening thing to me. You are not getting paid. You are not getting paid. Hearing friend of the pod Ernie. What's it called? Hearing Ernie talk about how his manager is like strategically positioning him and scheduling him to make sure that he does not hit overtime.
No, so many companies actually
are doing
that.
It is actually one of the most evil things I have ever heard in my life. Like they're scheduling him at the most random times, and then they're like, oh, you can leave an hour early today, and he's like, okay.
But what if I don't want to?
Yeah, like
and they're like, no, you're leaving an hour early.
Just go. You really earned it. No, bro, I've earned a little bit more than maybe that. The whole point is that you don't want me to get that. Anyway, that's evil. Yeah. I don't know. There's got to be something against that.
I've heard so much about like the people only scheduling you for like 39 and a half hours a week so that you don't get your full-time benefits.
Yes.
Because it's just so scummy.
It's poison, bro.
It's terrible practice. It's bad for the people, but ultimately the corporate things are in control. So
it's good for the corporate slop.
Yeah.
Okay. We have to talk about. We're gonna get what's it called? Let's get down in the weeds. We got to talk about the recession indicator. The podcast is ending. It's a recession indicator.
It's true. It's
time to go.
All the men
guys.
with podcasts are going away. They're putting their mics away. They're taking them back to Best Buy. They're getting their cheap little rebates on it. But yeah,
we have the receipt for the tripod. We're returning it after this. There's no more.
Yeah, it's going back in the AMA closet, which is crazy. Like I've gotten so used to having this tripod, bro. This tripod, we've seen some times.
Until probably 40 minutes ago, I thought it was your tripod. So yeah.
Yeah. Shout out former VP of marketing Haley for getting the tripod for podcast.
What a goat.
Now Big Haley, now graduating Haley. Because we got a lot of people that are cycling out.
Big Haley in the sky.
Oh, you missed it because you weren't at the GBM.
It's entirely possible.
We're gonna have an entirely new leadership staff.
What does that mean? Like all of eBoard's graduating?
A lot of eBoard is graduating. So Tabitha is moving up to president.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But would you like to guess who the new VP is?
No.
Ezra, current AD of fundraising, is moving up to the VP level. We like that guy. We wanted to have him on the podcast. We just never found the time.
I mess with Ezra. Yeah. That guy's cool.
Yeah, we got a lot of people cycling out. It's reminding me of here's the thing that's like troublesome about like college and high school and all these things where you have like the super cyclical turnover and stuff, is sometimes you'll get like a super big influx of a certain class level where it's like, we have so many people who are class of 2025 right now. And then they leave, and then you have to start the new thing from like not scratch because you still have some of the basics there. But
the reason that it's also new talent. Like the point is that it's also new talent, new ideas.
Yeah.
And so it's like there is room to grow through like the cyclical change, and also if every director or eBoard member actually does their job and writes good documentation for their position, then it's not really starting from scratch. It's kind of picking up where you left off.
Yeah.
If you write good enough documentation, we stand on the shoulders of giants. The next people are also going to stand on the shoulders of giants.
It's true.
And the giants are a little bit taller, maybe.
Yeah, although I'm pretty tall, low-key.
A little bit.
But they'll become taller because they're standing on the shoulders of
It's
giants.
True.
I think I've been putting a lot of time into the onboarding doc for the next person who ends up inheriting the podcast. Like, I have so much text in there being like, hey, do this if this, or like if you have trouble with this.
Huge report matrix.
Yeah. One of the main things is, hey, you're going to want to change the name of the podcast.
You can't.
That's probably.
I've already tried. I've already ran this gambit. It doesn't work.
We're staying off the clock. It's probably what's going to happen. Shout out to our brand. We got to maintain a consistent brand. That's good.
It's true.
But about like people transitioning out of roles and people moving up, it's really nice that like, because we have like most people who go to college are going to be out in 4 years, maybe 3 years.
Correct.
So you don't have that sort of stagnation that happens when someone gets into a role and they never want to give up their role. They want to work in this one thing for years and years and years and years.
Yeah, you've got this guy who's like been middle manager for like 25 years and nothing has changed. And he's kind of like, just coasting.
Yeah.
He's got like corporate tenure, I guess, is what I would call it.
Exactly. Yeah. But we got a new VP of marketing. We got a bunch of new roles. If you're watching this and you're going to be involved in AMA in the fall, then we have a bunch of roles that are hiring. So check that out by showing up to our Jello Body Means when we come back, or just checking out our website. I'm sure we're going to make some sort of like Instagram post or something advertising the open positions.
Definitely.
But yeah, a lot of people are cycling out. But going back to what we were saying about work, it's so nice to be able to like, you can be sort of like a vampire where you get to come out as like a real human being at night.
That's, mm-hmm. That's the dream, man.
That's the dream.
That's the dream.
Speaking of vampires, there was a big movie that we were talking about a little bit. Sinners came out.
Segue.
Sinners is directed by Ryan Coogler, starring Michael B. Jordan and a bunch of other fine, amazing black actors. Delroy Lindo's in that. He has a great performance. Haley Steinfeld's also in that, and she says
Nobody mind control.
She says some crazy things in that movie. That's crazy. But significant thing about Sinners is, well, there's two things. One is it's the largest opening that has happened for a non-IP movie in the past decade.
Like established IP.
Yeah, non-established IP movie in the last decade. I think it's since like Interstellar.
Wow.
No, it's since Gravity, and Interstellar technically is above it because the re-release put it over like $200 million or something like that.
Okay.
There's that. And then also in the news related to Sinners is that Ryan Coogler apparently made a negotiation deal with Warner Brothers, who's distributing the film, where he will get complete control of the movie and its distribution and its IP in 20 years, which is like completely unheard of.
Huh. In 20 years?
Yeah, which 20 years sounds like a lot of time.
Yeah, I mean, they can like run it into the ground by then.
They can, but like this is...
And they will. They will.
I mean, it's a pretty self-contained story. It was a really good movie.
Yeah.
It's getting like really super critical acclaim. Like the Letterboxd girlies are eating it up.
It's crazy. Radel, friend of the pod Radel, explained to me the plot of this movie, and it's like half of it I'm like, okay, is it trying to make is there like a social commentary going on that I'm just like, that I'm not tapped into, or like, did you have to be there to kind of understand it? And then I was like, what's going on? He's like, well, it is the guy who made like Black Panther. And I was like, okay, so there's probably like a social commentary of some sort. And then he was like, but they also just sort of kill vampires and KKK members, which is pretty dope.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, maybe you just wanted to make a cool movie. Whatever, I'm here for it.
I mean, it's set in
sounds kind of cool.
It's set in 1920 South. Stars a lot of black folk. And it's sort of about like, can you really be free from the shackles of like Jim Crow and like oppression and people holding you down and stuff. Can you really make a name for yourself? Can you really free yourself from that? And someone who's smarter than me has a better take on the movie. I just thought it was cool.
Yeah.
I like the acting. I like the performances. I like the vampires. They were pretty cool. But yeah, I know like a lot of studio heads were freaking out when they heard about the there's a couple things that have been happening. One, there was a hit piece from Variety talking about how like the opening of Sinners was $60 million, which is not going to make back its budget. And then a lot of people were, like Ben Stiller was coming out on Twitter being like, $60 million opener is insane for any sort of movie. I don't know why people are treating it like this is bad. But like people in the industry are putting out hit pieces on this movie because they're scared of the fact that, one, it's low-key, it's a majority black-owned movie that's doing gangbusters at the box office. So that's in the current political climate, that's a bit controversial.
Sure.
But also just like Ryan Coogler is getting a really good deal for distributing this movie. That's a lot of yapping about industry stuff.
But what does this mean that he gets all the rights for distribution in 20 years? Like, why is this really that big of a deal? If it's already a self-contained story, it doesn't really look like they're going to be able to serialize the IP in any meaningful way. And they're not going to be able to sell merch or toys or anything like this from it. So what does Warner Brothers have to gain, and what does Ryan Coogler have like over them conceivably because of this deal?
I think it's two things. One is it sets a precedent for independent filmmakers being able to...
It's possible.
Yes.
Sure.
Because he got that deal with Warner Brothers, it sets up independent filmmakers for being able to like make deals like this in the future, which is really good for them.
Okay.
And then two, like if you look at any movie that's came out like 20 years ago was 2005. If you look at the movies that came out pre-2005, the studios still have a sort of control over like where they will stream on streaming. They get control over like royalties for like DVDs and that sort of thing and anything like that. And everything involved with financials, especially because like this is a movie that did super well and is super well critically reviewed. So it's probably going to have a lot of like lasting impact. And people, when we get to 2045, when like this ends up in Ryan Coogler's hands, it's probably still going to be making like money for him. So this is it's giving power. It's taking power away from the studios and putting it in the hands of the filmmakers and the actors and the people involved in that, which is scary because scary for the studios because they want to have that control and that power.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm never gonna turn my nose at somebody like being able to take something back from like a larger corporation. I don't know.
They're getting their bag.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. The only thing is, we'll do an episode in 20 years when he gets his rights back,
and then we'll both be in our 40s.
Yeah, we'll reevaluate it, and we'll come back in this studio, same exact setup, everything.
USF's still going to be here. The studio's going to look exactly the same. We're gonna set it up exactly like
there will be no cataclysmic event.
Yeah, I still won't have a good beard. But
Dang,
it's all right.
Okay, we do have to talk about the real recession indicator, which is not the podcast ending, but it is student loan payments. They're back. Everyone thought that you just put it behind you. It's like, all good. No, actually, I'm good. But no, they're back, and they are wreaking havoc on people's credits already, which is really, really, really bad. Because without credit, you can't really buy very much. You can't get a loan. You can't get a loan for a car. You can't get a loan for a house. We weren't doing that anyway. Come on, guys. But originally, for people that don't know, student loan payments were paused. I believe, I don't remember the exact date, but it was like somewhere around like COVID times, right? Where Biden administration was like, hey, yeah, we know this is like a tough. We're in trying times, or what is it? We're in
I think it is trying times.
Okay, sure. Yeah. Unprecedented times.
Unprecedented times, unprecedented outcomes. And we're trying to be flexible, and we're trying to figure out
the thing you heard like 500 times during COVID.
Exactly. Yeah.
They were like, "Yep, we're in unprecedented times, so we're gonna pause student loan payments because the economy's kind of collapsing. People can't do anything, go anywhere, spend money." And so it was part of like the relief package basically. Then COVID ends and they are still paused. And then there's a big political push to cancel all student loan debt, right? Which, sounds pretty dope. And then eventually that gets struck down. You can't, I think the Supreme Court is like,
I think they say it's like unconstitutional.
Yeah, you can't do that or something.
Yeah.
Which is like, whatever, man. And so they don't cancel it, but instead they give a little wink and a nod to everybody and they go, oh yeah, we couldn't cancel it, but we're not reporting it to credit agencies. Like the way that we report this kind of debt to credit agencies has changed. These are the new guidelines. You don't have to pay, right? Like it won't affect your credit, anything like that. It's just a thing that you have in the back. But it's like sort of fake.
Yeah, it wasn't going to collections, so people didn't really have to pay it. It was just like a thing that was sitting there and
correct. Yeah. You still could have paid it if you wanted.
Yeah.
And some people did, and they are being rewarded for that now, definitely. But they're back.
Yeah, because people's credit scores are dropping. People who didn't really account for like the sort of bill that student loans is.
Yeah, like people, it has been long enough, right? It's been 5 years or 4 years that people have gotten used to the amount of money that they are making and that is not being paid like a substantial chunk to student loans, right? So they've budgeted their life around not having to pay these student loans. And so now that these are coming back, people's lives are like, sort of all their finances are getting like jumbled around, which is pretty bad.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw the budget episode that we did where we talked about how much money you would need to make as a college student fresh graduated, but we did not have student loans in that calculation.
Yeah, we did not.
Which may have been a little foolish.
And depending on, your rate, depending on how much you got, depending on where you got it from, it could end up being a lot more that you either need to make or need to skimp on to be able to pay your student loans.
Yeah, the number I've been seeing is like $200 to $400 a month for like a lot of people.
Yeah, and that's not paying the principal, it's paying the
interest.
The interest. So you're not lowering the principal at all. The interest is you're just kicking the can down the road, so to speak.
For the rest of your life.
Yeah. There's a big there's probably the only good financial advice that you could take from anybody, not from me though, because this is not financial advice.
Not financial advice.
Is be as debt free as humanly possible, right? The less debt that you have, the easier your life will probably be. In a general sense, obviously there's going to be people that are like, there's got debt. Yeah, okay, but you don't have it, so.
Yeah, like don't use Klarna and Afterpay to go to Coachella.
Please do not use Klarna and Afterpay.
Don't use it, period. But especially don't use it to go to Coachella.
Yeah.
Like let's lock it
It's
in.
the biggest scam of all time, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna slip up once statistically, and that's when they get you.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I have a personal take that I think student loan payments will get paused again. I agree with Alex and I both saw like the same video, the same article on this kind of stuff, and I agree with the analysis from them. I think it'll get paused again. It's just simply too many people are affected, and it's a big popular issue. So I think Trump is gonna pause it.
I think with the statistics that we already have of like people are defaulting on
what's the percentage? Isn't it like 30% are already in default or something?
Yeah, something like that. But the amount of people who are like already falling behind on their car payments, already falling behind on rent, and then like that sort of thing. When you add student loans to the mix, you're going to get a dangerous combination that will lead to a bunch of people on the street, homeless, or just we got the mother of all recessions coming at us. We got 2008 times like 50.
Yeah, like this is like the doomsday. We're doing the doomsayer thing. Like it's time, guys.
Yeah, if you look at like the level up that they did between like the first Avengers movie where they were only fighting Loki,
and we have to contextualize everything into Marvel films.
Yeah, because that's what hits our generation. But like it's like going from Loki to Thanos, where it's like, bro.
Yeah, it's looking grim.
But it's okay.
Yeah, I don't know. It'll be fine. You just gotta just wake up and do your job and go do other stuff. Like, you can't live your life worrying about it.
Yeah, like they can't take away you hanging out with your friends.
That's true.
You having a good time and just being jolly and merry.
Yeah, they can take everything else though. We're going back to playing like stick and hoop, like the Pilgrims or whatever. But we wanted to talk about that because we thought it was kind of interesting, and it makes. Like it connects loosely to our budgeting episode.
Yeah, but I think we're getting close to time on our.
Are we actually?
What time is it? Do we have... Okay, we got one more time. We got one more time. But yeah, it's weird with this being our last episode. I'm thinking about the things that like. Not that I wanted to do with this podcast. I feel like we've done a lot of the things that I want to do because we've had on a good amount of guest speakers. There was an idea of us doing this episode where we do a tier list of every single episode that we've had already.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. We were also thinking about having our friend of the show, Matt, who has listened to every single episode, come in and like help rate it. I was just thinking of like the title of the thing the entire time. It's like we let our biggest fan rate every episode.
Yeah. Which that could have been cute.
Yeah, but we figured we'd do like another episode. Our last episode should be of like something of real substance at least.
Yeah, we should stick within the format, but also inspire some hope for the future.
Yeah. How do you want to do that?
Oh well, okay. So we're at the tail end of our college experience.
It's true.
Have what day is it? The 25th. So I have like 2 weeks until I'm officially like. Walking across the stage, graduated, all that. You're not too far off yourself because you're graduating in summer.
Yeah.
But since we're at the tail end of our college experience, we've seen like everything that the school has.
6 out of 10.
6 out of 10?
No, I'm just kidding. It's been like an 8 or a 9 out of 10. Yeah. I've had a great time. I met a lot of really cool people. I've got to do a lot of really cool stuff. USF's a great like school. It's apparently it's only gotten better since we've gotten here. So that's pretty cool. This was a stretch school for me. I didn't think I was going to get in. I didn't have the best academics. I didn't have the best, like extracurriculars. And I just managed to get in. I actually applied, to USF only because my, best friend from high school got in. And I was like, whatever, maybe I'll just apply. And so I applied, I got in, and it was either this or like FIU or FAU.
Yeah.
And so, I picked this, and it was great. I had when I came for the tour, it was like in COVID. We couldn't go into any buildings and like everyone had to stand away from each other. It was awful, man. It was so bad. But the campus was beautiful enough to make me interested. And then, I met all my friends through, my dorm and all this other stuff. And then, I don't know, college has been great.
Yeah. College is fun. There's a lot of like a push nowadays especially because like we were talking about financials. The financial impact of college is a little more prohibitive for some people than it has been.
Absolutely.
Especially because, we're cutting down resources on the Department of Education, which means less student loans going out, which means less scholarships and all that. But I digress.
We're the last generation. So, so we're supposed to be inspiring hope, Alex.
Yeah,
stop.
We're inspiring hope. It's a year of positivity. But college for me is, I was thinking about it. There were a few things I was considering studying. Marketing was not my first choice. If I were to do it all over again, I would do the same thing because I enjoy the person that I came out of this as, and I enjoy the people that I've met and the friends that I've made and the experiences that I've had. But initially I was like, okay, I'm going to go to college. I'm going to maybe study some psych because I like learning more about people. I like understanding the human brain and human behavior and how it acts.
Mm-hmm.
And marketing's been nice because a lot of marketing is similar in that aspect because you're creating like personas for the people that you're trying to market to. You're trying to understand how to pitch yourself to other people, how to get them incentivized to buy.
Yeah. Buying behavior is a lot of like psychology.
Yeah, there's a lot of psychological aspects to that. So I'm appreciative of that. But I think I've had a pretty like well-rounded USF experience. My first year was like my orientation was in COVID, so it was completely virtual, which was crazy.
Sucked.
I was doing that over Teams, which was wild. But my first year was at St. Pete. St. Pete campus is beautiful. I've gone back a few times. It's still beautiful. They're making it bigger. It's a different vibe than when I first got
Things
there.
have changed, and he doesn't like change.
I don't like change. Why can't things always be the way that they were when I was 18?
Yeah,
you know?
but
but yeah, St. Pete was nice. It was very, very pretty campus. A lot of opportunity there. And then since I've came to Tampa, there's a lot of clubs that I've gotten involved in. AMA. If I knew about AMA before my junior year of college, I would have ended up joining sooner because it's nice.
And you would have gotten like 2 more years worth of podcast episodes from him, maybe.
Well, maybe because there was.
Yeah, there were Eric and Emma had it locked down.
Shout out Eric and Emma for doing a great job before us. We stand on the shoulders of giants,
of course.
But yeah, I think USF as a school and just college in general, any decent college will do this, but USF as a school is good at giving you the opportunity to find your people.
Yeah.
Giving you the opportunity to get involved in things that you enjoy. And like for everything that there is to enjoy, there's probably like 10 or 15 people who started a club on Bulls Connect that you can end up joining, which is really nice. And I was more involved with that in my earlier years. I wish I was still as involved as I was, but it's been very nice. I've met some cool people. And college is just like, it's cool.
Yeah, college is really like the experience other than your academic experience. It's really what you make of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people, if they're, I mean, everyone that's listening is probably already in college here. Like, so, but if you are like freshman, sophomore of any degree, people will tell you like you need to get your money's worth. You need to like join a billion clubs, do this, do that. You don't have to. If you just find like 1 or 2 things, 1 or 2 clubs, 1 or 2 facilities on campus even that you enjoy using or that you feel like you are getting value from, that's enough. I mean, like there's a ton of stuff on campus that you can do. We didn't know about the podcast studio until we started doing this. We didn't know about any of the Bulls Media stuff that you could do. There's a room across from us that has a bunch of live instruments that you can record and start a band, do stuff in there. There's a production studio in the room down the hall where you can, make beats, make music, do whatever you want. There's all sorts of stuff. There's pottery. There's anything you can find on Bulls Connect. It's open for you to do. So go find something, do something cool. Take your friends, take 3 of your friends and go like do a pottery class. Like,
yeah, it's also just like, it's so easy to make friends by just showing up to these things. Cause it's like,
all these people are in the exact same shoes. Everybody's trying to make friends. Everybody's trying to find their people. 99%
of them are like the 18 to 22 year olds who are trying to find people who enjoy the same things that they enjoy, who just want to hang out and they just want to have a good time. So yeah, college rocks, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, go Bulls.
Oh my goodness. There's a lawsuit going on actually right now.
Is there?
Yeah. There's there's another school. I don't remember the name of the school or whatever. But they are trying to trademark
you can't do that.
The gesture.
So many people do this.
That's what I'm saying.
Like you convert to this, and this is a 2-sweet, which is like a wrestling thing. But.
Yeah. Anyway, that's going on. I've heard about it. I don't know any details, so I'm not going to pretend.
I don't know that much about copyright law, even though I did take business and law, which is one of the classes that make me realize maybe college kind of sucks. But I feel like you can't trademark. Well, you can trademark gestures, but I feel like there's a certain extent to where it's like.
Yeah, I think the idea is like with the thumb forward.
Oh.
They're trying to trademark this, so like we have to change it to like the 2 fingers forward or something. It's just like it's like a really annoying lawsuit. It probably doesn't have any legs, but it's gonna cost both sides like lawyer fees.
It's gonna waste everyone's time. It's gonna make the lawyers money, which good for them.
And they need it. Won't anyone think about the lawyers?
Won't anyone think about the lawyers?
We're definitely at time now, though.
Yeah, now we're definitely at time.
So leaving off on that note, this is the last episode, guys. It's been a blast. Thank you, Alex, for dragging me on to do this podcast. I wouldn't have done it without Alex. Thank you to AMA and all the people in it for being very nice and supportive of all of us. I've met a lot of really cool people.
Yeah. Thanks, Cory, for coming on. Like, I thought when I got this podcast position, when I interviewed for it, when I tried out for it, I was like, I literally cannot do this with any person that isn't you. Otherwise, this would be a way worse show. But yeah, thanks AMA, thanks viewers for watching.
Yeah.
If you've watched this on YouTube, if you've watched this on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, if you've seen we got 28 episodes as of this episode. If you've seen even one of them, if this is the only episode you're seeing, we appreciate that. If you've seen all of them, then you're like, listen,
we appreciate you just as much as everyone else.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
But yeah, we're going to have our social media links in the description. If you guys want to keep up with us and anything that we may be doing.
We may have something going on in the future that is in this vein.
Yeah.
So
because we like podcasting.
Yeah. So stay tuned for something like that.
Yeah, but thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Join AMA next semester because we're done with the meetings for this year.
Mm-hmm.
We got the banquet coming up, which is the last.
Oh, I have to sign up. Oh, I missed it. Well, it's okay, guys.
It's okay. It's all right. But thanks for watching, and we won't see you guys next time, but bye.